Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Railroad Corporation 2 once more, as my train is choo-hooing right into our, well, main station, Gulfport, that is, and that is over here, unloading some passengers, picking up more of them again, and going out once more. It's quite busy out here on the roads, right? And yeah, we still have this problem here that this one sometimes is leaving town without having any grain on board, which is impossible because we always have grain in the city itself. So I just want to check if everything here is actually right according to plan. I'm activating actually again the clock here, even though without it shouldn't be necessary to actually place it there, right? So still strange because it always takes all the coal with it. So no idea what's going on here really, but there must be a reason for it that we could figure out. Now, I would like to continue with my expansion, and that is that we have a bit of cash now, 800,000 despite all my expenses, and I would like to now connect this system here that we have, Newport Beach and Pembroke Pines, and I would like to connect this now to my greater network. The problem here is, of course, that it requires a very expensive bridge that we can't get so easily done. Now, in this case, there will be planks and wood production then. And what I can see is that we have the plank production or lumber production in Gulfport and also in Allentown. So I would like to make the connection here between the two of them and by having this road. And let's not forget that we will also probably need to expand this one here to a parallel track system at some point. So we should, if we merge it now, we should basically make it so that we can actually merge it from both sides. Look at that. This actually brings it down to 20. Is this right? What's going on here? Let's not do this again. There is something wrong here. Let's just check it out. Let's take the narrowest row, the narrowest patch here, which is over here, right? So there it gets really narrow now. Over here. So I want to keep that bridge as short as possible, right, as we enter this area. And there is now my bridge that we have. Just make the connection here. I mean, it's getting quite busy in this section here already. And I can choose here now if I want to have a wooden bridge. I can also have a steel bridge. Now, the steel bridge has a higher maximum speed. Is this right? It doesn't show this, unfortunately, now what the max speed would be. You can actually see it here, and what I can see is that only the stone bridge provides a higher speed of 100. The wooden bridge is 20, right? And the steel bridge that we have is 40. Now, we can upgrade this later, hopefully. My trains cannot go faster than this right now. So let's make this investment here. It's, though, still going to be quite expensive. 400,000. But there you go, right? Hopefully it's worth it. Do we need to pay that much again if I'm actually making a parallel system here? That would be my question, right? So if I continue with that, and we're going over this again here. Okay, it's much cheaper then, right? It's 160,000, so we don't need to pay that ridiculous price once more for this. We can just use the same bridge and expand on that. This is what I would like to see, or would have hoped to see. Now with that, we have connected it. Let's just see, this one is connected. Now, can we actually now take a train here? Because that's what I would like to do. No, there's no train depot. It's still not connected, right? So what we need to do is we need to purchase it here, right? This is what we need to do. But hopefully we can actually choose then another location. So I would like to start here now with this locomotive again. And we're going to say, go for the beach, right? There it is. Newport Beach. Yes, we can choose this as our starting location. And Pembroke Pines, that is the other one that we wanted to have. Pembroke Pines, there it is. Because right now we just make a connection between both of them. And here we're going to say pick up the logs. Yeah, 5 carriages, that's great. And deliver that to the beach, right? Because at the beach we can unload them and we then have access to lumber that we can then also supply other cities with. But that is another nice one. Now, what we can also say then is not really that much else. Because if I want to go back now, we could take the planks, Gulfport. And from Gulfport, there is a possibility here. I wonder if it's profitable. Let's check this out. We're going to take that one here and deliver it to Pembroke Pines again, right? Picking up the planks up to 5 carriages. Very good. And we're going to add now a new station that is Gulfport over here. And this one here, oh, will be overloaded with wood. No, not really. Because we're going to unload the planks then in Gulfport, so this is a pretty long way, right? But we can also load grain at the same time. And the grain we're then going to unload in Pembroke Pine, because this is where grain is needed. So with that, the train always has a cargo with every station. Even though the distances can be quite long, I think we can make this profitable still. Let's accept this one and just see how it goes. All right, so it's starting now here then, in this very busy area that we already have. We might need to expand it here to 3 tracks at some point. Right now it should still be fine. And with that, we have it. Now, there is still also the possibility of having Newport Beach connected with Gulfport for passengers, right? Both of them have passengers, and it's quite a lot of kilometers that we take here, right? So this could be also really profitable by doing this. We will definitely don't need another track system here. So we have 640 again, right? So much money already again. It's a surprise to me. And I'm going to make the connection from this system here. Right. And then we're going over that bridge again to the other side, paying 187,000 right now. And this goes then all the way to this area. And this will mass cost me 252,000. It's expensive. It is expensive. And I will also need to have another expansion here. It's not really necessary with only 2 lines, right? But we're still going to do it here. And I would like to make this one. Cannot construct this way, why not? Possible here. Here. And here. This is working out, right? So you can actually then use both of these. 64,000. The thing is, of course, that we're not stopping here in Pembroke Pines as long as there are not more people, right? So there's no growth right now because we're not delivering anything. So my take here is that we can upgrade that to a city once we have delivered enough goods. Then at some point that would be another goal to here. Let's enable actually the next line already. And this is once again this line that we have, and we're going to make Gulfport full with passengers. 5 is the max. Actually 4 is the max for passengers, and we're going to the beach, and here we're going to unload passengers, and we're going to pick them up again. There you go. Very good. And with that, we have yet another train line working here for us. Point to point is the only option for me right now. Now let's have a look at my job objectives, because we have 5 running, and basically they're all the same here. Bread supplied to Allentown, to San Rafael, Mesa, and Camarillo, and also have the flour sold. With that, we are very close to completion, but the bread is something that's definitely going to be a bit of a problem there. Let's upgrade that track here. It's too busy, right? And especially we have a bunch of trains now that we can make. We can actually merge together then here. So that my trains don't need to wait all the time. And what I like already is that we don't really need a signal post. We have one here right now, but I've deactivated that again because right now this waypoint is not needed. How's it, by the way, looking in my town of Shawnee? Because here we're delivering the grain, right? Here it's been consumed actually by the city, and this leads to a growth, as we can see. 95 last week. So I have no idea at what point where this one upgrades to a city, because there is a city hall already, but it's not upgrading the city yet. We'll just see. There's also a train now coming in from Gulfport, and it's paying us 3.6 per passenger. I think this is not profitable at the moment, but we can check it out then here, how much is actually being delivered and how much profit we make out of that. It shows me a balance of 2,600. But I don't really believe that so far. Research-wise, in the meantime, I could go for more reliability. This is an easy tack that we can do. And repairability, maintenance cost is reduced. That's also nice. So let's go in and assign the white Galagos to this tag. We're making money, another $100,000 so far. We have earned enough by transporting and selling flour from our hometown. Now let's focus on investing and expanding our rail network and transporting and selling more commodities to other cities. It's also possible to transport passengers and mail. These transportations bring income depending on the distance. Alright. Do we have a new mission? This one's finished. We're still working on the bread though. I haven't found another city yet that also accepts mail, right? So it's just Gulfport right now. No other city goes with mail. There's also an interesting combination here with Salinas that has a lumber mill that produces once again lumber. There's Erie that has a lumber mill, so a logging camp, right? So here we produce logs, and also Shawnee requires logs. So we can kind of like make 2 profitable trade routes there, I think at least. So we'll just see how it goes. First of all, I need to start once again a new train station. And let's just see, how did I actually make these work here? It's that one there, right? Yeah, it's a bit hard, and there's only this type of train station right now. So that's number 1, and number 2 is then over here. The thing is here though, there's a mountain in between, so we'll just see how much that costs me now. Let's start building a mountain. Those would be 740,000, so it's probably not going to work for me. Can we make it another way? If I go around here, this would be also 500,000. So of course, it's the best bet probably is to just go around this massive mountain. Probably like this. There you go, right? So this would be possible because that's then pretty cheap. Yeah. Except for that last patch here, there's 20. We need a very hard curve. Well, let's just see if we can actually make this so that we can increase the top speed for this. There you go. This is much better. And don't forget that reaching those speeds is nothing close, right? So, come on. Oh, there's a tiny mountain now. Hey, why is there a mountain now? There was no mountain before. Ah, there you go. Right, I think here we have some kind of elevation. There's a tiny mountain. That's okay. Make that connection. Right, and let's make the other connection then from here. Go to my station over there. Now there we have, once again, mountains. There will be a tunnel. I think it's unavoidable for this path here because there is this mountain slope. And going around that doesn't seem to be likely, right? Oh, that's expensive. We're getting some money again. I wonder how often they would give me money. I mean, we are profitable, right? It's not necessary to give us money. Right. Now, we could go with a second track here, but I'm not doing this yet. Because basically we need the train here, buying the locomotive, right? And I'm going to say, take Erie as the main port here. So Erie we can take, and you go to Shawnee then. With 1. That's here. And in Erie you pick up the logs. There you go. And in Shawnee you unload the logs. Problem though is, of course, one way it's going to be empty. There's nothing. And those 2 camps, they're not producing anything other than that. Oh, wait a second. There is coal. And we have actually coal in Shawnee that we can load up here again. Why is it so light? Okay, coal is very light, it seems. Yep. And we can take that much coal back to Erie 8 times. Amazing. That looks to be a very profitable trade route, right? And let's create another one. Where we're going to say once again Erie. Could be tricky. Well, let's try Erie. And we're picking up the logs here. They're very heavy, unfortunately. and we're going to deliver them to Salinas, where we are going to produce planks. However, this time around there really is nothing else to do, because we have the planks, but Erie doesn't need planks right now, so it will be empty. But I hope that with the... I hope it's still profitable. Well, let's go with Salinas. Right, and we're going to sell the logs here 5 times. Just have a look how this goes. I think 8 times is because we have the maximum attractive once again researched, and the next in line will be the pulling mass already. This one increases the pulling mass by another 30 tons. Let's say tons, I guess. And in this case, let's research this, and with that we should have even more cargo dragged around my stations. And now we actually need those traffic lights here too, train signals, because there's quite a lot of traffic now, and it's the same as in Transport Fever too. So if you don't have them, you have basically one train section, right? And if you place them, you're actually separating the tracks into segments between each one of these train signals, right? So if one of those parts is occupied, that's no problem, because the train will just train all the way to this area here, right? So kind of like, yeah, intersections that you have then, right? So this one is waiting now because the track is occupied, and once this train leaves, it continues. If that wouldn't be the case here, that signal, the train would actually wait at the last station, because the station kind of like also acts like a train signal. So you want to have those in between to make smaller sections so the trains have more freedom to move around. Right, and with that we have more trains everywhere here. And you are already carrying, yep, that we already have the Erie one. This is a beautiful train route here, by the way, between the mountains, all the way out here. And the money is flooding in. We definitely will need another train depot at some point soon. Alright, I'm also happy to report that this train route that we have from Newport Beach, Pembroke Pines and Gulfport, so the long one, where we built the ultimate bridge, is very, very profitable. So the profit balance is 200,000 right now. That makes me happy, right? So we sold commodities of 500,000, purchased them for 260,000, and had an upkeep of 7,000, refuel cost of 17,000, and that leads to a pretty nice overall profit that we have here. So this has been a success so far, despite this very expensive bridge that we have there. How's the other one looking? It's a bit smaller, but it's also carrying less goods. So this is a direct route between Gulfport and Newport Beach, right, with the passengers on board. I would also start working on that next locomotive, the Patterson American. For this, however, we do need to have level 2 scientists. So for this, we need to have a level 2 research department. Let's just check it out, how we can get this done. There's my research department. Upgrade the department. 200,000. We can do this. There you go. Level 2 department we have. And with that, all I need now is one more staff. So if I want to go for this, assign the scientists, job applicants, level 2. He actually gives me a penalty to the Mastodon reliability. What kind of stuff is that? He's also not particularly cheaper, right? So let's go with this one. And I'm going to assign the other ones. And with that... Oh, he's still researching on something. There you go. And with that, we are finally starting that next locomotive. But it's going to take a while. Which is fine. With the latest upgrade, we can, by the way, carry more stuff than ever. So I can add another wagon here. So that's 6 that we unload now. Because I definitely want to have also more flowers, of course. Flour, of course, being transported between the city. Now the thing is, the game wants me to carry bread to other cities. The problem is there's not a single bread production on the map, right? And that leaves me to a bit of a pickle here, because the bread production costs me $1 million. So it'll be a bit hard to manage. Now there is another grain production over here in Worcester, and we can get this over here to Novato, and in Novato we probably produce the bread then. Now where's Camarillo and the other ones, right? Because we need Mesa, Allentown. Okay, we could probably have a look at this list here to find the ones that we need. There's San Rafael, that's over here. Okay, that's pretty far away. Like, it's on the other side of the map. This will be interesting, to say the least. Finally, the Patterson American has been researched, and let's just have a look at its stats. And we can see the top speed is 70 kilometers an hour, and the max pulling mass is 70 tons. Combine this one here, it's faster than the Memnon. However, the Memnon can take 165 tons. That is boosted by 55 with the research. But even without the research, the Memnon is the stronger one for cargo. The faster it is, that could also lead to something. The American also takes less maintenance cost. Way less maintenance cost. But still, 70 less tons. It's not ideal. To be honest, it's not a clear winner to me yet. However, of course, we can still push it, right? We can still say more attractive. Oh, but this goes also for another one, and there is already the next one. And this one requires the fuel conversion efficiency. Let's go with this first. Just see how we can do this here then. Max speed. All of this requires a couple more people. Maximum traction. Let's go with those minor attacks first, and then more. But I guess we will need to research a few more things before this locomotive gets anywhere near my Memnon that we already have. Why are you empty? Pembroke, Newport, Gulfport. Coming from the beach? You should have had some planks with you. There's no planks inside. Coming from Pembroke Pines. You're unloading that. You're loading. You can load more. Right. And also you can pick up more. But I don't think that he's doing it. So we don't need it. Because the ratio is actually different, of course. Yeah, it's 3:2. So that's always to be calculated as well. Kind of like a race here. Who's faster? Ah, will look at that. A new city leveled up. That's Shawnee with 17,000 now. It actually grew quite fast, but I think with 10,000 it was actually upgrading to a city that has now passengers and also the demand for passengers. And we are actually getting something back and forth here already. That's the grain. All right. So of course I could do a passenger train here too, but I would need to have a second track. We could also wait for Erie to level up. That would make things a bit easier. So this is not that far away anymore. It's 9,000 now. It's already growing. Has lots of logs. I need to find a way of getting more logs over so we can actually level this up by one more carriage. Right, and then we have this one here that also gets the logs. Another carriage we can do. Oh no, has broken down out in the wilderness. Now that was quick. Also Erie leveled up now. So has also a demand of passengers. We have this here going around, right, between Erie and Salinas. And now we can say in Salinas, please load passengers. You don't need to be empty in both ways anymore. And we're going to unload those passengers then in Erie. Was 5. Right, so this route here now is way more efficient with that as well. So far so good. We're growing, we're making some really nice profits there. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And then we continue on what's in the next episode. Stay tuned.